Hey everyone, it's week 2 of the Martian Tower Garden growing indoors on LED lights. I want to give you guys a kind of a tour of the tower, showing the week 2 progress. I'm going to start from the top of the tower to the bottom of the tower, and then I'm going to go around the tower and show you the other sides as well. So starting from the top here, I have 2 passion vines. One is a little bit less bushy and the one's more bushy. I'm not an expert of passion, but I would think the more bushy ones are, I would say, a little bit more healthy. So just to mention, there are some of this is the old growth from when it was outside growing, and then you'll see a lot of new leaves that are coming up. So these leaves were generated indoors from being under this LED light system here. So I noticed a lot of new growth on both of the passion vines. This is the one on the right. You can see a lot of new leaves here. And passion vines, they only fruit on new growth. So I'm going to continue monitoring this and see if we can get this passion to flower and hopefully make fruit indoors, growing hydroponically on the Martian Tower Garden. So that would be a cool thing to see. And you see the tendrils are attached to each other. The plant doesn't really have anything to grab onto, so it's just grabbing onto itself, which is interesting. And then more new growth up here as well. Moving down the tower, I'm not using every grow slot. I'm covering up the grow slots with these 3D printed covers just to block out the light on the tower. So moving down to this section, this is going to be a new cherry tomato. I put this in about, I would say, 9 days ago, and it's already starting to sprout. I think there's 3 different plants in there, so I need to select the strongest one, but there's 3 growing in. This was actually an AeroGarden pod. I just put it in the tower, the AeroGarden pod seed, and it started to grow, so that will be interesting to watch. Moving down, I have a pepper plant. And you'll notice that this pepper plant is flowering. So I hope to have more flowers coming off of here. It's flowering here, and across. You'll see some smaller peppers that are coming up. And then you have larger peppers that are already ready to harvest. So I'll be harvesting these pretty soon. You have 3 in the back there, which are a pretty good size, you can see from my hand. And then you have one more that's in the kind of like the purplish color phase, and later it'll turn red. Moving down, I have another cherry tomato, and I think last update most of these were green and weren't that big, but they got much bigger, and most of them are red, ready to harvest, and you have a couple more that are coming in there. As you can see, this one's turning red, and these 2 are still in the green phase. And then down here is another pepper plant. So there's some pretty good sized peppers on here. 1, 2, 3. There's another one right there. 4. There's around 6 pretty good sized peppers on it, and there's some other smaller ones that are starting to come in as well. Alright, so this is the other side of the tower. At the top here, this is cilantro. I use a lot of cilantro, so I have cilantro in about 3 or 4 different pods. So this is a good size, and again, I harvest this a lot. On the right here, you have a green onion. I just took a cutting of a green onion. It was about that size, and then you can see it grew pretty good in here. So I was just experimenting, and it can grow green onions in this system. Down here, I have a smaller passion fruit. I put this in there from seed, and you can see there's a lot of new growth here. That's all, those are new leaves. Here is lettuce, again from seed. So I just put seeds in this pod, and the lettuce started to grow. Last time I think I filmed that this hadn't started sprouting yet. So moving down, this is another pepper plant. This is the stem of it. You see a lot of new leaves coming up. It is flowering. If you look down here, follow it down to here, there's a lot of peppers, and when I hit it, a lot of pollen came up from the flowers. But here's one of the peppers. Here's another one over here. A few of them I've already harvested, but so that's a pepper plant. And then on the right here we have the yellow pear cherry tomatoes. This one, I think last video a lot of these were green, most have turned yellow, and I've been using these as for tacos and for other things, so it's pretty handy to have these right in the kitchen. So they're easy to just pluck off and use them as you need. But this again started growing outdoors, and we brought it indoors to finish the growth. Alright, on this side you have another pepper plant, and you'll see a lot of new growth coming off here. These are all new leaves. So here, and then you'll also see a lot of new buds that are coming off, like flowers that are hopefully those will end up being new peppers. And I've noticed that, you know, there's a lot of these peppers are turning red, ripening. I've been harvesting them once they do turn red, because I think they're a little bit more spicy when they turn red, in my opinion. I don't know if that's correct, but, and here's another one. This is a green pepper that is, I think last video it was like maybe a quarter of this size, but it's grown pretty quickly. Okay, and you have more new growth here, and you have more buds coming in here. So I'm going to monitor this one, but I think this will give me a lot more peppers. So moving over to this side of the tower here, this is kind of the back, and you have another passion vine. So this is more of the old growth from being outdoors, but here you have a lot of new growth coming in here and here. And then this vine goes all the way down the tower. So, and then it also is coming up all the way up here, up the wall there. So it's seizing its new environment. So moving over to the right here, you have some romaine lettuce. So these are, again, this is 100% indoor growth. So this is romaine lettuce. You have another one here, which it looks a little bit more bushy, and then the one down here is probably the biggest one. But they started all at the same time. But this one I would say is the biggest. I did put multiple seeds in, so you can see there are probably more than one plant that's starting there. And I may have to start weeding them out just so they have more space to grow. So those are the romaine lettuce plants.